Thursday, August 3rd, right on cue. John, great to see John, Felix, Steve, Xavier from YouTube, now in Cyber. Great to see Xavier here with us this afternoon. Chuck, Steve, Manuel, John, Michael, Antonio, and all of our students here. Great to have you back. Great to have all of us back on social, Facebook Live, LinkedIn. Hey, if you're not joining us yet inside our live trading room, perhaps you're on our social streams. But hey, otherwise, just join us there right now. Just click that QR code as it pops up on your phone. Scan it with your camera, perhaps I should say. We'll take it right inside our live trading room. But I'll tell you what, a step further, we do have class coming up later on this afternoon too. For all of our gold, platinum, and diamond C2 students, you folks have access to the Phase 3 stock course. I got the hot tag from Fausto. He needs me to sub in for him this afternoon. So I'm looking forward to it, especially now that we have a couple of runners to work with, or rather, I should say potential runners, right? I mean, it's been a decent day, just up and down, like more nickels and dimes than anything. But, hopefully this EVGO could turn into another runner again. Ended up popping once the market opened up, but then crashed right back down. The stock was coming off, I believe, off of earnings news. It's one that we've traded in the past too, whether it's off of news with EV or, clean energy, whatever it may be. EVGO has been a trade that we've been following in the past. It's tradable, good spread, good liquidity, obviously pretty cheap still. Just recently, it broke above resistance off of 530. That was a big level that we were calling out just prior. So, hey, we're not always going to catch it right place, right time, but myself and Rich were obviously here throughout the entire day. So transparently enough, much more often than not, we're going to be able to be there to some degree. Now, in this trade, it was moving right on up to 530. When I first looked back at it, I said, okay, that's a nice setup there. Let's take a quick look. Let's call it out for the crew here and all of our students. And Steve got 9 cents on it, in and out quick, went in right from 530, right? It's a tradable move. Of course, we want more, though. We wanted a lot more on this trade for it to continue to push up higher. We got time for that. We got plenty of time left for that to happen. We got about 90 minutes left, a little bit less before the end of this day. As long as it can maintain above 530 here, we're in good shape. So, hopefully sooner than later there, but EVGO will definitely put back on our watch list. Run, which, made a complete dump right back down there. In fact, let me get my SPY graph up here as I normally have. So bear with me for 1 second. Yeah, it's not as if we're seeing a major, correction once again. We saw a nice recovery in the opening bell here, first couple hours of the day. And then now here, it's just kind of chopping sideways. Run in particular, definitely making a stronger move down here. I'm not going to put it on our watch list as a short. It's still coming off good news, so I'm not as prone to doing that. Normally, obviously, stock coming off bad news and at the lows you want to follow. Hey, just go back 24 hours ago. I know that Michael was calling it out earlier here too. The SPR trade was down big. It was at the lows heading into this meeting here. Look what happened. Only continued to dump off another 1.5 lower. So, that's the type of short that you want to follow heading into the afternoon there. So, the run trade, not as much. The EVGO, so long as it could hold. Yeah, we'll check it out, see if we could end up breaking higher. Now, though, really quick, since I'm teaching the Phase 3 class in particular, I got to make sure not just you folks are ready to go, but myself too. So let's just go right from top to bottom here, see what we can grab going into this meeting. So BJDX, I reckon I still have a couple stupid lines in my chart here. I got to delete all this stuff. But, BJDX, I guess I had fibs up there, just pulled back. That's where I was looking for $8.90 to $9 to hold as support. But once it ended up pushing up as much as it did, you'd figure unless if it made a sharper reaction right away, which was right here, it didn't really make a sharp reaction. So, if it's not going to make that big bounce right away, then not really expecting too much. So, just look at the daily chart, look at the weekly chart. The stock has only dropped off since its IPO, but I remember we've called this out recently. Look at the long wicks on this trade, just on several of these daily candles. So even dating back to the beginning of June, history always has a tendency to repeat itself. All right, so I was getting asked by Xavier just before, hey, what are your thoughts on Cook? I keep forgetting Cook is Traeger. All right, okay, cool. Traeger, a company I definitely am aware of. I know, and I don't have a Traeger grill just yet. Maybe that's coming up later on this year or maybe early next year, right? We'll see what happens with this market. But Traeger grills are definitely pretty good from what I've seen. Given the stock right now, it's on a good spread. I wish the order book was a little bit more liquid. Maybe there's more volume through the ARCA book or through the New York Stock Exchange here, perhaps. Let me pull up level 4 while I'm at it. So this broke over big level, 100,000 share black print level at 598 and basically $6, basically 598 there. So moved up about 25 cents since. You'd probably want to see more. There's still time for that to happen, right? It's kind of the same line of thinking as the Evgo trade. So long as it continues higher lows, then no harm in trying to look for this to run higher here. So yeah, Cook, put this on our watch list for right now. Small little order up top here at 650. I say small because, honestly, 7,000 shares, even 10,000, 11,000. We've seen larger order sizes out there for these smaller cap stocks. So whatever it may be, just, 650, then $7 to be your next resistance right now. What happened here? Did MSGM just like jump the list here? Moving up. Yeah, MSGM, I mean, also just dating back to just Tuesday this week, big pop, big drop, then the following day tanked. So this has been all over the map. Motorsport Games, no idea what they're doing there. Maybe the X Games, I don't know. So MSGM, also you could see dating back to the beginning of this year too, had a huge pop. And that was a nice push from like 10 up to $50 basically on a short squeeze. So hey, hopefully history repeats itself in terms of the pop. It's already made a fraction of that type of run. So, with it already up 52, near 53% right now, if it ends up head faking once again, don't be surprised and for it to come crashing back down with how thin the order book appears to be here. So I'll put this on our list, but I like the Cook more. I like the Evgo more. There's a couple I think that are popping right now. Let me just really quick jump to Benzinga. If I'm misled here, then my bad. Yeah, the CXAI is up like 9-10%. It's an AI stock. It's one that we're familiar with. And I saw it on the top of my Benzinga scan here. So I quickly just wanted to kind of cut right to this. A pretty spotty graph, though. I mean, it's only trading 500,000 shares total on the day. That is really not a whole lot. So it's saying that I'll come back to it if it ends up showing more life just by the end of this meeting. It's up decent, moving back up small amount, but I mean, again, just look at the daily chart. This thing's been all over the freaking map. Are you kidding me? I mean, definitely a day trade, not a swing trade. All right, so that takes us back to Upwork here. UPWK. Stock ended up making a nice pop early this morning and another bounce back up too. So again, at the highs, it's liquid. It's within our price range. It's going to be hard for us to ignore this type of stock. Right now, it's also seemingly back up towards the 2023 highs here already. So that was off of like 13. No, I got to zoom in there more. It's higher than 13 here. 1476. So has a little ways to go to get up towards the 52-week high or the 2023 high, I should say there. So that could be something to keep an eye out on. Otherwise, maybe like 1415, 1422, two peaks here that we had dating back afterwards. It's kind of there now. So simply put, if this could just smash the highs here coming up, I don't have level 4 open on my page right now for Upwork, but yeah, I'll put this on our watch list to give it a look. UPWK. Keep going. All right, so let's just try and keep it going, moving pretty quick here. ADMP was a pop and drop. That was done by morning, probably earlier. So we'd call that out as soon as it broke under that 220. It was cooked. Get it? Cook is in Traeger on our watch list. All right, so let me keep it going. That's my pun for the day. But Sabre, this one seems a little tougher for it to try and squeeze up here at this point. Just very flat. A couple of larger orders out there, a number of larger orders out there on the ask. 473, 75, 77, 78, 87 up top there. It is a lot. So this one's a little tough here. I'm going to put this on our side list. Sabre. It's tradable, but if you're in the business of watching the grass grow, then perhaps it's for you. But on the flip side of that, Andre says, wow, what got into Tesla? We'll look into Tesla just as we finish up the gainer side here. So definitely take a look at Tesla in a moment. Yell's trying to go back up, and look what ended up holding for the most part. Ended up just breaking under it, breaking back over it. We were calling these levels out earlier, 386 to 390. I didn't have the lines there at the time, but you were looking at Rich's screen inside the live trading room. So essentially, once it broke above that resistance earlier, resistance became support. Once it broke under it, it broke back above it. I want to talk less because I'm missing this opportunity here myself. So, hey, if you're in on Yale, you're doing pretty good so far. Definitely going to put this towards the top of our list so far, just given the run here. We're obviously really familiar with this move the last few days. All right, so what else can we get here? What else we got? FSLY maybe, the stock we're kind of familiar with right now. It's at the highs. Just I feel like there's better trades for the price. Rite Aid, RAD. Not looking too bad. Not looking too bad at all, in fact. Also has some big orders for it to break over, but if I'm comparing, what was it, that other one, Sabre and Rite Aid here, Rite Aid seems a little bit sharper right now, making a decent balance from like 242, 243-ish, up about like 12, 13 cents from there. Yeah, I like this trade. So RAD, RAD. All right. So let's check out Tesla. Quick intermission here for Andres Tesla. Hey, it is pushing up. It's making a pretty strong move right now comparative to the SPY, that's for sure. I know some big earnings out going into the after hours. Oh, my apologies. I'm sorry, John Tesla, not Tesla. There we go. All right, so for Tesla here, pushing up pretty nicely. Yes, I do like Tesla, but we're going to follow TSLL though, which is the ETF for Tesla, and we're going to put that on our list here. We'll also slip Tesla on there too, just given the move up, and if you trade the options on it, of course, that's the cheaper alternative. So. All right, so you can't see me, but quick water break there myself. Let's hop over to the loser side. Got to keep the mouth going for class now, right? So that said, what else can we grab here on the loser side now at this point? How much lower could ARAV keep dropping? Well, technically another 26.3%, I reckon. Another 34 cents down, but this thing got smashed. Wow. This thing got beat up bad. I mean, you could say the same on BPTH, RBOT, all this crap. I'm not going to trade those, of course. Ooh, what we might trade, though, what we are going to put on our watch list here for sure is this DXC. I mean, hey, we just said yesterday on SPR, stock was down percentage-wise and ended up continuing down off bad news. Momentum carried it lower heading into the close. This looks very similar. I like it. All right. I didn't say that there's nothing left from the loser side, so I didn't technically jinx myself there just yet. That was a nice one that we got, though. Let's see what else we can get. QuantumScape, that too. We called out that as a short early this morning in pre-market. That was one of like 2 or 3 stocks on our pre-market watch list. And, with it down percentage-wise, why do you think we had it on there? We looked for the short lower. It was easy to borrow on TradeStation. Now, with that in mind, for as much as I was bullish on Quantum and Superconductor and LK99, I am bullish on that long term. But as far as the stocks that have pumped up 100, 200%, don't be surprised to see a pullback. But now at this point, news happened overnight. QuantumScape last night came out with news with a direct offering or common stock offering of shares. So perhaps that led the street to think, well, maybe they're not able to raise capital as much. So perhaps that led to a more extensive sell-off, obviously the short down here. So hey, for us day traders, it's a great opportunity, right? And I'm sure it'll bounce back up over time long term. Just look out for the long-term support over time. Just looking back to June or July, perhaps dating back to like $8 maybe. Or if it snaps back up higher from here, like $9 over time, or like 9.15-ish into the close today and tomorrow. But otherwise, as a day trade now, as a short, it's on the way down. It's still kind of making lower highs. So we'll look to see if it can hold under 9 and move lower before the close here. What else do we have? What else do we have here? I mean, I'll tell you, there are some stocks that are shortable on this losers list right now. So we do have to go through it. There's definitely some choices out there that I need to at least consider. For instance, like GT is technically tradable. It's not nearly close enough to the lows right now at this point, but shortable. I got to give it a look. Etsy, a little more expensive, mind you, but more popular stock on the way down. It is shortable. So if you trade the options on that, that would be a better play perhaps. But PTLO looks like it's starting to build support here. It's still pretty close to the low of the day now, just made recently, but You know what? I also don't want to build up too big of a watch list here. We have a pretty big one here at this point right now. So we got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 stocks to work with. So not too bad, but I don't really want to build it out much more. So Roberto asking, can you check support on SPR? Ooh, let's take a look. So the trade from yesterday, right? That SPR short. So I don't have Bookmap open. I would just look to follow your 50-cent levels, whole numbers for this type of stock, and still mainly just really your whole number levels. Really quick, 1 second. Keep an eye out for 2136 as a key level. 2136 is support. That means trading at 2209. So, technically 2136 would be a big volume level to focus on as support. 2070 looks like there had to have been some sort of iceberg or big market print that got filled there, because it looks like just as it broke lower from there, it pushed right back above it, and then from there, just that was it. So I would definitely keep an eye on that price there from just before 2136. All right, so Michael saying PayPal, DXC both down and shortable. I didn't see PayPal before, right? Did I? It's down 11%. What is it, like 11% not low enough here for the losers list? Jeez. Look at that. I know Etsy's on there, PayPal. I didn't really see. Wow. Yeah, so a lot of things down percentage-wise, say, Mike. I didn't see PayPal until right now. This is a better trade for the price because of how liquid it is. It's on a great spread. It's on a great order book too, right? Just seems like it's building support right now. If it was breaking lower at this point or just trending towards the lows from earlier, just under 64.50, I'd definitely be more inclined to put it on our list. That would be a good one. So if you want to follow it as a good side list stock of yours, then by all measures, go for it. It's definitely a good one, it looks like. But we got a big list already here, folks. So last call. Let me know if anything else looks good towards the highs or towards the lows. A good long or a good short either way. Take a look at one from Benzinga. I got RETO. This is how you know that we're at the bottom of the barrel here. It's not going anywhere, so we're going to scrap that. AMTX right now, this is trying to inch up, but it's on low volume. Trading low volume right now, so I'm not a fan of that. Go back to CXAI that I said was on the side list before that too. That one also is low volume. Pass on that. And then finally, Sabre. Would it hurt us to put Sabre on the main list? It's up 28+%. Could it break higher? Of course it could break higher. Of course it doesn't hurt us to put it on the main list. But in terms of prioritizing, in terms of making sure that you can consolidate your personal watch list down to a few, less is typically more. You don't only want to have just one stock on your list, or two for that matter. But if you're working with a group of 4, 5, 6, it's a lot easier to cycle through those than 12, 13, right? So I think that we're good enough here for right now, folks. Hey, once again, if you're fancy with your phone, just scan that QR code on social media, Facebook Live, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, etc. Also, just be a friend, tell a friend. Also, if you're on YouTube, just make sure to subscribe and tell your colleagues and friends to check us out here on Cyber Trading University YouTube channel. But otherwise, we look forward to having you inside our live trading room soon enough. Any questions that you got for myself here, certainly feel free to reach out. Josh@ctutrading.com is the handle. I always like to post that there at the end. There we go. But otherwise there, for John, Kathleen, Felix, Roberto, and Michael, and all of our students here, I want to make sure that you folks are set for class. Make sure that you click that link that Rich just posted. And then otherwise, I look forward to seeing you there. Water break beforehand, folks. I'll talk to you all soon. Take care.